Good evening. My name is Trinnette Morris. I come to you in a couple different capacities this evening. I am the president of the Project SHIP Foundation. We are a nonprofit organization located in West Palm Beach, Florida. I'm also coming to you to appeal as an educator as well as a business partner in this community for the Roosevelt Full Service Center and the Leadership Academy for Boys being placed there. As the president of the Project SHIP Foundation, I have the unique opportunity of dealing with and mentoring not only females in the community, but also a large number of African American males in our community through several different training programs that we have and mentorship programs. As an educator, I have also the unique opportunity to spend 4 to 8 days a month in New York City working with all-male Hasidic Orthodox Jewish schools. And I think it's important, I think it's vital that we in this community have an all-male academy, not only for African American students, but for males in general. I, as a former educator, was trained through Marva Collins Preparatory School in Chicago. And with that training, although it was a male and female school, there are many times where we separated the males and the females because of the need of those students. I find myself doing that now with Project SHIP. Although we, again, have male and female students, there is also a need to oftentimes address some issues that are specific to the males and specific to the females, which is why we've developed 2 different programs. It's not what we set out to do. There's just a huge need because the needs are different.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ricky Aiken. I'm from the West Palm Beach community, in particular Tamron, Dunbar Village. I'm a high school dropout myself, and I consider myself the voice of the child that is being left behind, the African American male. I was introduced to the Superintendent's Graduation Increase and Suspension Reduction Task Force by Brother Carl Muhammad, who serves as the communications guy. And in my involvement with the task force, I came to a startling realization that only 22% of the African American male population was graduating from Palm Beach County School District. And I don't know about you, but to me that statistic is not only shocking, but it's unacceptable.
Yeah, sure, great.
I consider one of the most urgent crises facing the Palm Beach County School District. And as I listened in on the budget meeting last week and seeing how what I would consider kind of a brainchild or the baby of this task force being the Roosevelt Leadership Academy, that the $6.7 million that I thought would be allocated to it wasn't in the budget, it just completely shocks me. Because this school is what I consider, it really is the birth of the idea of the task force. And I don't know what much has gone on with the task force since then. I hear that only one group within the task force is still operating, but it doesn't change the fact that the African American male is being let down by the district. There's a quote that I read in a booklet by Marion Edelman. It says that education is the precondition to survival in America. And if that's true, my young brothers are being let down drastically, and we need to do something about it. I'm from the Tamron community. I volunteer my time in the Tamron community as a mentor and role model and an advocate for the young men and families there. And it is my dream and it is my hope to see a school placed in that community, not only for the children. You're not only helping to save a life, but you're helping to save a community. That is a place where parents can look and see that's where the future leaders of the Tamron community are being trained. And I hope to see the young men take on the same outlook that I do, that our community is in trouble so that we, with a new perspective, can come and save it. I don't think it's your responsibility to save the Tamron community or even the African American child, but you can do all that you can do to put us in a position to take ownership and raise them up and help them out. If you have any questions about the task force, you can see Brother Carl Muhammad. Thank you.
Baptist Church in District 7.
I'm here, and many of my members are also here in attendance to express their interest and concern about the Roosevelt School and about the policy to allow the Sheriff's Department to come in. Let me just say, as a pastor, we run into the end results of the failure of the educational system to do what it should do. Of course, the burden is not totally yours. The community has a responsibility, and you can see by all the various people who have been here tonight that the community is vitally concerned that that school be placed where you originally said. It was quite amazing to me when I looked at the brochures that had been printed. All this was put together, which meant that you intended to do it. And now all of a sudden you're double-crossing the community and you're letting down people. And you're letting down people that really want to do something. There's too much violence, there's too much crime. The brother who just spoke from the Tamron community, it was amazing for him to be so articulate. There are many other young men that are just as qualified and just as intelligent, and all they need is a chance. You referenced the shop report, and if you read that, you'll see clearly that this is a problem that is nationwide. You all have a moral obligation. It's not just a fiscal responsibility, but you have a moral obligation to make sure that all of God's children are able to receive and to be all that they can be. And so we would respectfully ask that you live up to what you've already put out there, that the hope that you've lifted up, that you're not snatched away. A dream deferred is just a terrible thing. And to kill expectations is a terrible thing. We see too much violence on the street. We see too many people not living up to their potential because of a failure to get a good education. And I would urge you to do that. Lastly, on the police thing, many of you may be familiar with Michelle Alexander's book called The New Jim Crow, which talks about how the prison system is now becoming the new Jim Crowism. And if you allow the Sheriff's Department, which they do good work in other areas, but they're not trained to deal with the particular problems in the school system. If an autistic kid jumps up on a school officer, they may get shot because the natural reaction of the Sheriff's Department is somebody comes at me violent like that, we're going to take them out. The school officers are trained to help and to nurture and to make sure that these young boys particularly are not bound to prison. And so we would again respectfully urge you to reconsider that, as Leah has said, not make that part of your policy. Thank you very much.
Members of the school board, Superintendent Jett, my name is Patrick Franklin, President and CEO of the Urban League of Palm Beach County. For 40 years, the Urban League has promoted and strengthened our youth in this community, day in and day out. We are situated 2 blocks to the west of Roosevelt Full Service Center, Roosevelt High School. 6 months ago, we opened up the closed West Palm Beach Community Service Center and rehabilitated that center right there. And it's fully staffed now, serving that community in Tamron. We believe in that area. We have put money into that area. We have brought money into that area. 3 years ago, I spent $2.3 million with townhomes in that area, right on the corner of Henrietta and South Padilla and Palm Beach Lakes. We are economically committed to the area. You've heard various aspects tonight from different people why you should be there. For years, Roosevelt High School has sat there virtually dormant. We need an economic engine in that area. That will bring the whole community together. Our partners, the City of West Palm Beach, you heard from the West Palm Beach housing community tonight. They are committed to support that school. We are committed to support that school. We have over 300 youth that we work throughout this county, with many of them coming from that area, day in and day out, with our national award-winning New Lights students. We work with these students, have been for many years. All of our students, all of them, that have been with us over a year have graduated from high school. We are prepared to work with this high school. We're prepared to work with the middle school that is going there. We are prepared to put our money and our efforts behind this effort. Don't take this opportunity away from us right now. This is a critical movement. We have to work together to change this community. If we don't, no one else will. No one else will. So I'm talking to you from an economic standpoint of view. The Urban League is committed, And all of our partners are committed to making this happen. We are waiting for this high school to come to fruition, this middle school. I keep going to high school because we need to do something innovative. Innovative. Other places in this country have been innovative to address the issue with our black males. But I'm here to tell you that this school can support all males in need. All males of minorities. Everyone that comes through our door is a minority at the Urban League. I don't care what color you are. You're a minority. If you come to us for need, we will support you. Let's do something innovative in this community. Let's set the pace in a different way. You have the backing of a lot of people. Look at who you have here tonight. You have a lot of different people from this community saying, please, don't take this away from us. And take your time on the sheriff right now. Take your time on that. Let's really have some community intervention and talk about what it means. Reverend Kisner is correct. We need to understand what we bring into our schools. We need all the support we need into our schools to do it the right way. Let us help you.
With the Superintendent's Task Force. You know, one of the things that I see that we're missing inside of this conversation is the staff development and orientation that those of you who are on the school board need as a result of the new products that you've been rolling out yourself. You know, when I think about Ms. Jenny Brown and I think about Ms. Karen Brill, I think about before you got on the school board, how you came to the African American community and we tried to give you the ups on some of the things that were coming down the pipe as it related to the survival of our community. And I just want to humbly and deeply say, from the deepest state of humility, I wish that those of you who are on this dais would get yourself some training, some orientation into the African and African American curriculum infusion process. And the reason why I suggest such an idea is because it would help you to understand the value of African American male children and African American children in their totality. And one of the problems that I know is not existing is that you're not being trained. Because I deal constantly with the African and African American curriculum department, and I know none of you have touched that department, none this year. And I work also along with the Superintendent Task Force for graduation rate, and I also know that you haven't touched that one time this year. And I know that you say that you have the value of all children at heart, but I humbly and respectfully say to you again, do some new assessment, do some new thinking, and you have some help around. As you talk about the financial responsibility, you have some people that can help you into retrieving some wisdom as it relates to the biggest problem in the education. And I deal with not only, say, here in the state of Florida, when we look around the country, we have the same problem existing with the federal level and everyone else. And we always here in Palm Beach County take the opportunity to brag that we're leading the rest of the state of Florida. And I do believe that we are. But I do also know that we need the leadership, the head of the community, to take a serious look at what is actually taking place. And if I'm in error as it relates to retrieving that kind of wisdom, I apologize. But I know for a fact, because the only committee that has been operating out of the Superintendent Task Force has been the Communication Committee. And we've been working feverishly to try to get information into our community. And we do need your support, your love, and your help. And I don't want to come up here and beat you up, but I do want you to get trained so that you'll know the value of our children.